Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action. Hey, what's up everybody? It is Dan here from the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. And I am here today to talk all things NXT. That's right, guys. The future is now. And we are now live. Obviously, Tuesday nights is the new home of NXT. And that means that Wednesday evening, is the new home of the NXT Lay the SmackDown review. So, what happened on this week's NXT? Well, let me firstly tell you, NXT was dripping in women's gold this week, as both Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair returned to NXT to celebrate their WrestleMania title wins, along with Raquel Gonzales, who became the NXT Women's Champion at NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. So essentially what happened here, Raquel Gonzales came out to cut her promo alongside Dakota Kai. They were interrupted firstly by Franky Monet. That's right, the former Taya Valkyrie is officially on the NXT brand. We'd seen some vignettes airing for the last couple of weeks, but it's now finally been confirmed. She came out and congratulated Raquel and seemingly is throwing her hat in the ring for the first challenger to Raquel Gonzalez's NXT Women's Championship. But I'm sure that Io Shirai is going to have something to say about that, because obviously Io being the former champion and holding the championship for such a long time, she's obviously going to want some kind of rematch with Raquel. But yeah, in a lovely moment really, Rhea Ripley then came out with her newly won Women's Championship, having made history at WrestleMania, becoming the first woman to ever win the NXT UK Women's Championship, the NXT Women's Championship, and a main roster Women's Championship. She came out, they both whacked their belts together as if to say, like, yeah, cheers, well done. And then all of a sudden, Bianca Belair's music hit, and she came out with the SmackDown Women's Championship. One thing I didn't like, she still had Sasha Banks' side plates on there, despite having won the belt before Rhea Ripley. Rhea had hers on there. But then I guess, obviously, Rhea's been on Rhea's been on Raw since, and obviously Bianca will be on SmackDown. So yeah, it was. I thought it was actually really nice. Actually, it was a nice moment. The three of them in the ring, and there was a nice graphic that was behind them, showed basically their early days in NXT together. So it's nice when you see three women all coming up together. They're all holding gold at the same time. But yeah, it was just a really, really nice throwback for the three of them, and it shows how far Rhea, especially Rhea and Bianca, have come since NXT, and obviously the fact of Raquel being the women's champion now, and I don't think it'll be long after Raquel loses that NXT Women's Championship that she's going to be in that main roster scene as well herself. So. Yeah, so on the subject of champions, we have a new Cruiserweight Champion. That's right, Kushida defeated the undisputed Cruiserweight Champion, Santos Escobar. So, also on this show, we had a promo from Jordan Devlin where he actually mentioned Kushida being a 6-time junior heavyweight champion in IWGP. Now, obviously, we know that WWE obviously don't generally mention other promotions, but it was really nice the fact that obviously that Devlin brought this up in the promo. He also said something along the lines of that he's going back to the UK. So he's going to be going back to NXT UK seemingly, and then he will be obviously backwards and forwards, I guess. But yeah, obviously Kushida, well deserved, a 6-time IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, and now obviously sitting atop the Cruiserweight division. I was going to quickly throw over to the comment section. We got a message here from Talking Crap. I'm guessing this is Lucas saying, so Santos Escobar wins a ladder match, but then jobs to somebody who lost to Pete Dunne last week. So, yeah, well, I guess it's one of those things, isn't it? It's, Kushida, obviously, I don't think they wanted to put him in that main title picture. There were 2 heels that were both champions at the time. It's one way, I guess, to transition the championship belt from a heel to a face. And he becomes the first male face champion in WWE that's holding a singles championship. So well done, Kushida, the new Cruiserweight champion. We also have Roderick Strong seemingly resigning from NXT. He was seen entering William Regal's office with his wife, Marina Shafir, and he handed an envelope to Mr. Regal. Basically, Regal said to him, oh, you're welcome back here anytime. And, could this maybe be Roddy and Marina both going up to the main roster? I mean, Marina Shafir, obviously, she's got history of being good friends with Shayna Baszler and former training partners with Shayna Baszler and Jessamine Duke. There was, a lot of speculation that the 3 of them would all come up together at some point. But, I think if the thing with Nia Jax doesn't work out for Shayna, maybe putting her in a team alongside Marina and Jessamine would be a good way to go to establish her again as the ultimate badass of, SmackDown and Raw. I lost track of what brand Shayna Baszler is actually on, because women's tag champions can float from Raw, SmackDown. Supposedly it was NXT previously, but obviously NXT now have their own version of the women's championship, women's tag titles. So, yeah, I guess what's next for Roderick Strong is probably going to be the big question. Obviously, me being British, I love a cup of tea, so I'm just going to have a quick swig of tea, clear my throat, and then we'll get on to the next point. Obviously, out of my Rebellious Noise mug, obviously limited edition, only myself has one at the moment, so super limited edition. So we also had a Karrion Kross promo. That's right, newly crowned NXT champion Karrion Kross, saying that he now rules NXT and welcomes all potential challengers, but that their time will be done when they get in the ring with him. TikTok. So I'll throw it over to you guys. Who do you think is going to be Karrion Kross's next challenger for the NXT Championship? We've got Talking Lucas again. Kross's boss. That he is. Karrion Kross is indeed the boss of NXT. He is the man that holds the championship aloft. So we have a announcement as well that there's going to be a new female talent debuting in NXT. That's right. I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of this name, so forgive me. And that lady is Sarai. It's spelled S-A-R-R-A-Y. She is being branded as the Warrior of the Sun. She's going to be debuting next week in NXT. She'd actually signed for WWE in February of 2020, and she announced this at a Diana show on the 22nd of February 2020, but obviously owing to the pandemic, this has changed the entire schedule, with WWE allowing her to return to the Joshi scene. He said Joshi Sheen then. The Joshi scene over in Japan, and allowing her to still work dates in her native Japan until she was able to move over to the United States. She is going to be debuting next week. Could this be a potential challenger for Raquel Gonzalez? Yeah, I'll throw it over to you guys. We've got Mythic Prediction in the comments again. Thank you. It was quite handy for us over a WrestleMania weekend. You were really insightful there with some of your stuff there. You're predicting Kyle O'Reilly. I'm guessing Kyle O'Reilly for the first challenger for Karrion Kross. Obviously, Kyle didn't look in a very good way. Sasha Cross. No, it's not Sasha Cross. It's Karrion Kross. So I guess, to be fair, that's pretty much it, I think, for NXT. There was quite a few like promo segments. There was a couple of other matches. There was an 8-person, multi-person tag team match. But yeah, I think overall for NXT, that's it. I'm going to be back on Saturday morning in the usual 8 a.m. slot. Sorry, guys, it's a bit early, but it is what it is for Saturday morning. I'm going to be here with the SmackDown review. That's right. I will lay the SmackDown on SmackDown. And we have yet more WrestleMania talk on Rebellious Noise as Scott and Tom both sit down to discuss WrestleMania 37 on the Talk and Beans podcast. Now, if you've not listened to that before, I urge you to go check it out. It's a really good podcast. Obviously, I've been on there a few times, so that's why it's so good, because obviously any podcast that has me on at some point has to be a good one. So you can find that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcast. Type in Talk and Beans, and I'm sure you will find them there. Don't forget, guys, like, share, and subscribe to Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. A huge thank you, guys, as well, from me and from the Rebellious Noise crew for sticking with us throughout this incredibly busy period over WrestleMania weekend, or WrestleMania week now. We look forward to obviously bringing you a whole load more content. So thank you, guys. So thank you, guys. Take care. We will see you soon. See you later. Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.